This baby is cold. Let's hope I got time to do this. I've only got one crucial bend. The rest is kind of not a big deal. I need to go way in here. It's working. Oh, that's so much better. This is with the soap in the water. It was recommended by two different people. A gentleman years ago in my first coil video recommended this, and Delicious de Blair also recommended contaminating the water with something like soap. Working pretty good. I'm seeing far less kink here. The crucial part's basically over with. We're in the clear. So the first time I did this, I did not use this method, and we got a usable coil, but certainly not the best that can be achieved in this process. This one's another story. This is doing very, very well. Now the reason you put the soap in the water is to stop the ice from expanding so much that it blows the tube up on you. That you don't want. Okay, we're in the clear here. I don't know how much of this you're picking up. Okay, it's starting to travel weird on me. There we go. There's definitely an art to this that I'm slowly picking up on. There's some moves. You gotta have moves, man. You gotta have moves. So there you have it, fellas. I want to thank this guy right here. So this is Delicious de Blair. I can't find the comment referencing this discussion, but there's also another gentleman here. This guy right here, 3 years ago. So thanks a lot, Daniel and Delicious de Blair. I have taken your advice and am now freezing the coils with soap in the water. That's why I never froze it initially, is because I was worried the coil would burst. You know how when copper pipes freeze, they bust. But the soap contaminates the water and allows for some pretty amazing bends. And Delicious de Blair for recommending the soap in the water, which contaminates the water just enough that the expansion upon solidification does not burst the tubing you're attempting to bend. You got to be wary of that. So I'm pretty sure that's what the soap is doing. I believe we discussed that. But yeah, man, that's some very tight coilage with no kink. That first wrap is a nightmare. Beautiful, beautiful. I am so pleased. So I'm gonna throw this back in the freezer and then bend this spud down flatwards. But I did manage to get this bad boy ready to roll. Ah! Love it. Too cool, man. This thing is gonna scream. I like it. See that little weld seam right there? See that groove, that triangular area? That's why these damn things leak on me sometimes. It's not smashing that weld enough. That's it. That's the culprit right there. Can you see that gray spot? Oh, there's a low spot and it's gray. I kind of ought to sand that out of there. We're all smooth here except for right there in that weld zone. Huh. We'll keep an eye on this spot. We'll do a test. We'll see if this spot leaks. See if my hunch can be confirmed. Yeah, that little gray spot right there is like the Nile River at 300 psi. Remember when I was talking all that Nile River jazz? This is that joint, and it won't seal no matter how much I tighten it. That's a fairly slow leak. Water won't leak out of there hardly at all, but I wanted 100% seal. The leak rate's imperceptible until you do that. But this is that joint that had that space we saw. This side here is okay. We got a little jazz right here. No matter how much I tighten this one, it's doing the same thing. It's got a really good flare face to it. It's just that weld leaves that little crevasse. That's a really slow leak. Because I'll tighten these things to the wrenches strip sometimes. And I think that's why right there. See that little gray Nile River of leak? This is the boiler feed pump. In case you haven't seen this yet, this ought to get you excited. We're not joking around. So here we are, fellas. A disaster later. Typically, I just braze these things without asking any questions. I didn't want to have to do that because you got to back purge. This stainless steel has to stay passivated, so we can't let that inside get exposed to this much heat. I tried to get these to seal. This is a low grade tubing, and I should have just done double flares. A double flare probably doesn't suffer the same problem, but I went ahead and just brazed these bad boys up. It doesn't leak at all now, so we're good to go. I got really lucky. There's two fittings down inside of that one right there doesn't leak, and that one right there doesn't leak. I got super lucky with that. That one right there. So we are about ready to test this thing. I have one concern that I do have. I put a fire shield here to protect this coil strut. It also has steel rod inside of it. But I'm worried that this is going to expand enough to put stress on this strut here and pull that tack off this tube and bust a leak in here. So we're going to see if that happens during testing. If it does, it's okay. We can just weld it closed. This Miller-Matic is working out great. With all I have is C25 right now, but because I'm purging the inside with argon, I should be okay. I've done inspections. I've cut the tubing open. It looks beautiful. I don't think I have anything to worry about as far as corrosion. So we're good to go there. But that is my one concern, is the expansion of this rod. This rod is going to get red hot. This burner is not a joke. This thing ain't playing around. It's also going to have a preheat coil on the bottom of it. And it's going to be lifted up to almost just touching that. Somewhere like that. gonna be an angry little machine. Now I could have made this way smaller, but we were talking about wanting to put a water wall in this thing. It could be made smaller, but I wanted to take advantage of all 50 foot of this coil since we paid for it. I mean, it's not a satellite, so I went ahead and just made it bigger than necessary just to take advantage of this coil. It will increase the efficiency big time. So, because we could have typically, or basically took like 5 of these pancakes and just had a stack this tall and made this thing this tall. But that's kind of expensive. So I spread it out a little bit. We'll see how it does. This is a 100 foot monotube stainless steel boiler. And come sunrise, the rooster is gonna crow.